All right. We're live, I
We're
think.
live. It's Wednesday. Wednesday. The day before Halloween.
The day before Halloween, a couple days
Halloween Eve. Right.
before we travel out to SEMA. So big things happening in the world of IGL and in the world. I mean, Halloween's a big holiday. What are you doing for Halloween, Mike?
We are slated as a candy-free zone in the Halloween business. Like the city does like a business route for the kids to go to. And my wife decided to be a candy-free. So we're handing out stickers and
Oh,
pencils and
I love it.
notebooks and stuff like that.
I love
Maybe
it.
some IGL can koozies,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bunch of like here.
oh yeah. You should give
So,
out Kenzo bottles.
or Eclipse, which
Yeah, or
yeah.
Eclipse. Whatever. Yeah. 1 liters.
Come to my shop if you want a free 100 or 1 liter.
You'd have detailers lined up for
They'd be on airplanes tonight. They'd be like,
yeah.
I'm in Chicago. I can get a flight for $300.
All right. Yep.
That
No,
works.
it works. All right, let's talk a little bit. Got a couple things we want to discuss. First order of business is SEMA. Let's talk about SEMA for a minute and the excitement level, bro. We fly out Friday. We'll be putting together the booth. This will be our first SEMA as the owners of IGL. A little bit of anxiety, a little bit of excitement. What you feel it?
It is. It's kind of a surreal moment, like we've both been at SEMA plenty of times.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit different. There was a lot of planning that we had to do with Keong. So it's just different being on that other side. Like usually it was Joel and Jeff saying, hey, you need to be at SEMA at this time. And now it's like, we need to be in SEMA like a couple days earlier because we, to help Keong and his team and putting together the team and having the meetings and it was just it's different. It's exciting. It's a little scary because you don't know exactly, it's your first time, whether it's setting up the booth or whatever, so but I feel like we're very fortunate. We have a good team. We have Keong always brings his A team.
Yeah.
This year I'm excited to share this moment with Papa Joel.
Yes, absolutely.
So having him there is going to be pretty neat because we'll have to go out there and shake some hands and kiss some babies' foreheads and stuff, and he can sit back and take care of the booth.
Yeah, it's cool, and I don't think people realize what all goes into an event like this. And you think, okay, well, you just go set up a booth, but there are a lot of moving parts from the travel side of things to the itinerary to making sure that as we make this investment, that we understand how we get return on that and how do we translate conversations into sales.
Yeah.
And and as a business, I mean, we have to do that. It's exciting to say we're going to SEMA, but there's a lot of pressure on the business side that says we're going to SEMA, we're spending X amount of thousands of dollars and it's on up there. But how do we say, okay, every conversation has a dollar amount associated with it, and then how do we squeeze that sponge to get that dollar out of it?
Yeah, the ROI is like the hot topic when it comes to other manufacturers, other companies that attend SEMA. Like I've had plenty of conversations with other coating companies, and believe it or not, anybody watching, most of us coating companies, we are friends.
We all
it's we all talk, and a hot topic is always ROI, and that's not meant in a bad way. It's just that it is very expensive to get out there. And a lot of times that ROI, if you're not tracking it and you're not capitalizing on it, it can get carried away. And I think that's something that you and I have talked about a lot. And it's not just, hey, we need to go out there and make money. It's going out there and making relationships, but how do we make them relationships go to that next level?
Yeah, and how do we help everybody? Like, how does going out there help our current customers? How does going out there help build our, our business itself? How do the dollars that we're spending now translate into longer term dollars down the future? In the future, and so there's a lot of moving parts within that, and and it's our job to kind of dissect that piece by piece, and it's exciting, man. To be able to rub shoulders with the top tier people in our industry and to have conversations with all of the detailers that show up there, and they're by the thousands, That's what's cool to me, and it's very motivating to leave a show like that. Like you're just charged, man.
Yeah.
You're tired, but you're charged because all that talk, that's going to translate into action as you go forward.
And if you're open-minded, you learn a lot, right? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Because people start asking you questions. Do you do this or do you have this? And it makes your wheels spin a little bit. Like, hey, I've been asked 5 times today, like, do we have this, or do we supply the detailer with this, or what do we offer the detailer? So we find out what's important to the detailer, and we can only capitalize on that as a team. So
yeah, and for me, it's a great time to have conversations about business, and detailers as a whole generally struggle with business. Most detailers are DIY kind of people. They're very hands-on, they're very technical, but when it comes to running the business side of things, understanding their numbers, understanding how IGL can help with that, how it's multifaceted, and you're not just buying a bottle with a chemical in it. You're building a relationship with guys that really care and understand and want you to do great. So that's what's exciting about it for me, is having those conversations and not this product could do X, Y, Z, but it's like this product can help you if you're struggling with sales in this realm, or if you're under packaging and pricing and things like that. We have things that can help solve those problems too.
Yeah, and that's a that's a good point. I mean, just having them business conversations too, because them are calls that we get every day. I just had one yesterday morning. Well, more of a text, but we get them every day. And it's usually about sometimes yesterday was about, hey, I'm being undercut by detailers. They're doing $500 ceramic coatings, and it's like, and then we talked through that and said, hey, here's some of your options, like, maybe offer this type of a package to get them in the door, and then we can increase that as we go, or whatever. So, and he's like, yeah, that's a good idea, I'm going to try that. So them are really the conversations that are really cool to see, because we've all been there, and we still go through there as shop owners, like, right? Like this last year, I think both you and I can agree that we adjusted our shops to get through this
shifting economy, in our industry, things are changing a little bit, and we have to shift things around to make sure that we're still able to sell to our customer. And having that experience of the shop allows us to have that conversation with detailers all along the way, because we're not saying, hey, we know this because we heard this, or we know this because we're doing the same thing back in our shops, and we fight the same fight. You're struggling with marketing or sales or product, usage or whatever. Like, we can talk directly to that because we also solve those problems every day. So.
Right.
So SEMA as a whole, man, excited. We're going to be doing some webcasts. We're going to have some really cool people on our for interviews. You've already mentioned Joel Palm in there, which is amazing for us. We're excited. We'll also have some of our brand ambassadors that are going to be there. And just talking about the brand, talking about things that are going on in the industry, things that are coming up in the future. And so it's really cool. I'm pumped, man. I'm ready to get on a plane and get over there.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited for that haircut on Sunday too.
Hey, man, I'm letting this beard grow out as long as I can.
I need a haircut so bad, and I'm like, you're like, this haircut's worth it. So like,
it's totally worth it. I'm letting mine go too, which I just got one last week. So, but I'm gonna let the beard grow out as much as I can in a few days, and get it cut down. So, it's cool. It's full service, man. It's the whole chamois,
Well, I watched, not to get off subject, but I watched a person yesterday. I forgot what country they called it, but they said this is what you get when you get to this country and get a haircut. And they had like wax in your nose and I'm like, that better not be what we're doing, because
you may have some wax in the nose. That takes me back to I went to Bangkok for a couple weeks a long time ago, and really though, we went in for a foot massage. Apparently, they're known for their feet massage. They're known for their massage period. But anyways, we went in for a foot massage, but it turns into it's a whole body massage, and so like you go for a foot massage, but it's there in your shoulders and head.
I don't know if I even want to hear anymore.
No, it's great. But I'm saying, like, it's full service, top to bottom, and for a foot massage, And so it was really cool. So that's the way the Las Vegas haircut will be. You'll see.
Okay.
It's really cool. It's really cool. And while we're in Vegas, we got to get some runs in. We're probably in a gym, I would assume, but we got to get our.
We'll get some runs in, and then there is a lot of people that I have reached out this week about SEMA. If it's your first time, there's some after parties.
Yeah.
That are pretty popular. Our Justin Day's party on Tuesday night, I believe, and Detailers of Las Vegas. You can check that out, and if you need, there is a little link that you can buy your ticket on. And then on Wednesday, I believe the big ones, Rennie Doyle's, and then I'm sure there's a few other ones going on after that. So if you're new to the SEMA thing, first off, come check us out in the West Hall.
Absolutely.
Make sure you go to them parties too, and network. They're not necessarily your customers, but what you'll find out is you'll gain some friendships, and not only that, they're people that you can ask questions. There's a lot of knowledge between detailers out there, so just find somebody that you connect with and make that relationship.
And that's it. I always say when you talk about going to an event, like you're talking to people that are going through the same problems that you're going through every day. And it's so like comforting to have a conversation, be like, God, I dealt with this customer. They were a pain in the ass last week. And like, yeah, me too. I had this one. Like you can relate to that. And when you're at home or in your shop, like no one else really gets it but you. Yeah. And so when you go to an event where there's 1,000 other yous or 10,000 other yous, and you can have that conversation and everybody's complaining about the same thing or everybody's excited about the same thing. It's fuel for the fire. And I always leave energized and excited to come back and go to work. And so I think that detailers going for their first time will definitely experience that. It is information overload too. Make a plan, have a plan for each day. Yes, it's walking aimlessly, but my suggestion is to kind of have an outline of what you're wanting to go for, because there is every product, there's every tool, there's every manufacturer, anything you can think of, there's 100 of each there. And so if you understand what it is you're specifically looking for, then you can go to those particular booths and really do your research. And it's an opportunity to be hands-on and try things out and talk to people. I mean, with ours, ceramic is ceramic, but what makes us special is our relationships. And that's what we're hyper focused on. We want you to meet us. We want you to talk to us because that's who you're going to be dealing with. Yeah. And that's what makes us great. Yeah, no, it's going to be a good time. And we're right by our buddies over Angel Wax are right next to us. So the cool kids.
Looking forward to seeing Tommy and the crew.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time. And I look forward to it. So that is SEMA in a wrap, I guess. So, and then one last thing with SEMA, don't forget, we all take a picture on Friday. Joel will tell you what time. I think he flies out. So he's like, you guys got to make sure you get a picture. That's something Joel put on years ago. And
for the last few years, I was tasked with rounding everybody up for his picture. And so I'm going to call it, this is Joel's picture, in my opinion, still. Like that's something that I believe in. I mean, I don't mind rounding everybody up and making that.
Yep. Sometimes. It's like a family reunion for him. Like it's his family reunion picture. So do not have to be part of, there's Joel there. Do not have to be part of the IGL installer network or anything. It's just, we need an industry picture on Friday. And that's Joel's request. So he will.
Oh, it's got to happen. I mean, it's going to happen. Y'all should do matching mullets. We'll get us some, Katie, and we'll do matching mullets.
No, she means a haircut.
Oh, we got enough hair to do a mullet. Oh man! All right, look. Next order of business, we want to talk a little bit about handling customer complaints or issues. We kind of had to defuse something for a detailer this week that kind of got put on our plate. And should it have landed with us? Probably not. It could have been handled a little differently on the front end. We all make mistakes. We all do things we wish we'd done different. But I want to talk a little bit about, handling issues yourself. Okay, it's your business. Even though you're installing our product, so you're buying a product from us, you're installing it. That service is yours, and you should understand and know how to solve problems within that service. And there may be times where you reach back out to us to understand the makeup of a product or the science behind it. But at the end of the day, you need to understand how these products work and interact with vehicles, and then how to solve problems as they come up. Mike, in your shop, when you have a customer complaint, we all have it. So let's just go ahead and clean sweep that. Everybody's had a customer complaint at some time, even though we're all the best detailers. How do you handle it, Mike? What is your go-to steps?
Well, the biggest thing is doing your investigation first, and first off, let's go back to the service.
Yeah.
The day we do the service, it's making the customer as aware as possible. The day we sell the service, really, like, this is what we're doing to your vehicle. This is the do's. This is the don'ts. This is how it can help your vehicle. This is what it does do and doesn't do. And making them aware of everything, that whether it's a ceramic coating or a sealant or your detail service you're doing, whatever, you're not going to go in there and tell them that you can buff out a scratch that's all the way through the paint. So
Right.
that's stuff you need to tell, because customers don't realize that. Like, a quick example is, one of our ambassadors actually had a customer question them the other day. He shows me a picture of rust around the fender, and the customer says, well, when you buff that out, it stretches the metal, correct? Because it's missing metal. Like, this is how customers don't realize. Like, sometimes they don't realize the process that has to happen, whether you're fixing, repairing, or whatever. So it's really our job to be upfront and say, this is what it's going to do, this is what it's not going to do, and here's the consequences of doing it or not doing it. Why do we not buff? Why do we not? A lot of us don't wet sand orange peel anymore, because it's put in there by the manufacturer for a reason, and the clear coats are so thin that it's a sketchy thing. Not saying you can't do it, but you need to make them aware that it's thin here. If I do this, we're going to risk this as a something and we may encounter this as a
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Like, so you have proposed risks. Like, there's some risks that we're taking here, and some added liability. The thing that you're saying, so clearly stating expectations, what we can do, what we can't do, what this product is going to do, what this product doesn't do.
Yep.
Clearly stating expectations, and you don't have to get super technical. A lot of detailers, they want to get into the grit sandpaper, the color pad, the type of polish.
Yeah.
The customer doesn't care. They want to know what you're doing, and they want to know that you know what you're doing, and they want to know what it's going to do. But they don't care about the grit of sandpaper they're using. They just don't.
And you're exactly right. And I think the reason we get into this, and that's the very front of the process, right? I think a lot of us, what we fail to do is we failed to actually meet with the customer. The customer drops it off and you're done. You don't do a walk around. You don't address their issues, that their concerns that they have at that point. We don't give them the 5 minutes to listen to them and find out what the sell is all about, because they're going to tell you what their concerns are. So that's in the very beginning. That's what, how we kind of manage. Once we perform the work, we're kind of our own, we at my shop, we warranty all of our work. Yeah. Like, we stand behind our work. But we put processes, or we put, hey, you need to come in for your maintenance. You need to do this. You need to, I want to see it back every 6 months for a detail, whatever it may be in that situation. And so we can address any type of issues as they come forward. But once the customer leaves, and this happened to be, 90 days after, I think, but which, I think that is where installers need to do a better job of dealing with the conflict of, I shouldn't say installer, detailers in general, business people in general. We need to do a better job at dealing with conflict. A lot of us don't know what we want, how to handle the conflict when it happens. So we want to kind of be like, I'll check with so-and-so, or I'll do this. And it just makes the customer mad. It's okay not to know something, but we have to go through a process at that point.
Yeah. And it seems like you're casting blame, or you don't know. But the first thing you need to do is listen. and let that customer tell you what they're truly complaining about. If it's a French fry left under the seat, that's a simple fix. It was a missed spot. Let's handle that. Let's take care of it. If it's something larger where paint is peeling or something understand the problem, understand the dynamic. Then if you don't have an immediate answer of this is what's causing that, then it's okay to say, I don't know exactly what's causing this, but I will find out. Yeah. And so you let that customer know specifically what's fixing to happen, and you give them confidence that you're not going anywhere. Because what happens is the customer, like, things happen every day, right? It has nothing to do with what happened. It has everything to do with how you handle it immediately after the thing happens. If you shut your mouth and listen to that customer and let them tell you, this is what's going on. This is my problem. This wasn't here before. Now it's here. What are we going to do about it? And you don't have the solution because what you're looking at looks foreign to you. Then you say, no problem. I know that we can find the answer to this. I don't know it specifically, but I know people in our industry that will help me solve this problem. And I'm going to start making phone calls right now and have you an answer within a day or so. So that way we can make an action plan to fix this. I'm not saying I did this. I'm not saying somebody else did this. I'm not pushing blame one way or the other. What I'm telling you is I'm willing to help you solve this problem, or at least identify what caused it.
Yeah. And what we have to realize is the moment that customer calls you or comes in, they're at a very disappointed, mad situation, right? I mean, they're affected. Yes. So in the heat of the moment, we're all upset to begin with. Like the first time
everybody's defensive.
Yeah, the first time you find a scratch or a dent on your personal vehicle, it upsets you for the whole day, right? The next day, it's like you kind of walk by it. It's it sucks, but it's like whatever. And then a week later, it's like you could care less, So, and that's the same thing that the customer. I'm not saying the customer is going to say I don't care anymore, but you got to remember they're going to be very defensive in the beginning, and sometimes it's hard for us as business people to control that because we feel like we're being blamed for something, and we just have to step back and just play it cool. We're going to do our research. We're going to get people involved. And then, all of a sudden it's like, hey, Mr. Jones, I researched this. And what happened here is not because of something we did. It's because of this or whatever it could be, and have your I's dotted, T's crossed. And, that's what it's really about.
Somewhat of a solution, or at least a resolution, like, in this instance, there was some paint peeling, and there was actually there's lawsuits going on with this particular car company that had this issue, and providing them that information and saying, here's what other people are doing that are experiencing this problem. And so, maybe you can go down that route. If they need to talk to me about what was done, I'm happy to have that conversation with them. But you're giving them a solution to their problem. People are more than willing to deal with their problems as long as they have a solution, a route to the end. And I think making sure that you listen and you understand and let them vent. Sometimes, dude, it has nothing to do with the French fry under the seat at all. It has everything to do with their dog got ran over that morning and they are having a shitty day, and you left the French fry, and you are the one that has to
100%.
And you know what? It sucks to be that guy sometimes, but be that guy. Don't make that guy. Don't be the one that wants to argue back and wants to get defensive, because then it's the spiral down, and then it becomes an issue. And I can tell you right now, the PR side of things, when they take it to social media, the backlash, whether you told them you was going to vacuum the French fry or not, all they're going to scream is that you didn't vacuum the French fry, right? All they're going to say is you're a piece of shit because you didn't do this thing, and now you're telling them that the French fry wasn't there before, okay? Like, that's all they're going to tell. They're not going to say the actual side of the story where you weren't paid to do the interior of the car. They're going to leave that part out, and so you're the asshole. And your business deserves better by you. So make sure that you understand and you keep it on a cool conflict level. But listen, that sounds real good. Everybody's got a plan if you get punched in the face.
Yeah, 100%. It's but and that's just a struggle. I think every business will go through it, and
Oh yeah.
as a detail shop or whatever, it's maintaining a professional attitude the whole time. There's nothing anybody can say bad about you if you're being professional about it.
Yeah.
Where if you go back and blast them or do something negative, it just gives more ammunition for somebody that doesn't like you to give another person a reason not to like you. So they can only lie so much. They get caught in their lies eventually. So.
It is, and it's hard to be mad at a nice person. Like, it's hard for some, if you're killing them with kindness, hey man, listen, I'm not sure exactly why this is happening, but we're here to help you. We're going to help solve this problem. I'm going to do some. It's hard to be mad at that guy.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, he hears me, he understands, and we're going to work to get this problem solved. That's all people care about anyway. But I'm not saying go out and get railroaded by your customers, but at the end of the day, you gotta understand where they're coming from. And I think the first step is listening and not with intent to answer, but with an intent to understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty simple, dude. Why didn't you just, why doesn't everybody just do that?
I don't know.
Throw it out right there. Because you get punched in the face, you're like, I'm punching you back.
It's tough, it's
business is tough.
Business is tough. It's and I think it's harder and harder every year. I mean, you have to protect yourself all the time, so if guys aren't doing their, I would be doing your pre-walk arounds, your post-walk arounds, documentation. The other day I've gotten to the point, just because of the stuff I've encountered through the years, like I see one little nick because the person will drop it off and they'll be like, oh, it's in perfect shape, blah, blah, blah. There's no scratches. All of a sudden we wash it and we find a nick. And it's like, I don't just document it anymore. I like text them or call them right away. And I'm like, hey, just so you know, I found this, and that. And a lot of times they're like, yeah, I know about it. I'm like, no, but you just said it was perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. We do a ton of befores. But our before pictures, we call them CYA. We take pictures inside out. Even if we're not doing the inside, we take pictures of the inside, because if something comes up missing, if they said there was some sunglasses on the console and we have pictures of them, that has happened in the past.
Yeah.
And when you take enough pictures, and let me tell you something, that quickly pays for itself when you don't have to buy a pair of sunglasses once a week, or things.
We got blamed once for a rock chip on a window. Like literally, like I have to document rock chips now because like that rock chip wasn't there when I dropped it off. I'm like, literally, like it was.
We got blamed for, this guy said we went joyriding in his truck. It was in valet mode. I swear to you, it was in valet mode. It was a blue, one of the, I don't know, RAV4 or something. And he left. So we started on a Friday, or dropped off on Friday. We're doing it on Monday. It goes, and I have cameras. I have 36 cameras around my shop. Okay, like nothing happens in my shop without me knowing about it. This truck goes around for pictures, then into my shop. It sits there until it comes around for QC, which is on Monday, and gets picked up. This guy goes on Facebook. These guys must have taken my car on a joyride. It was out of valet mode, and I don't know how it got out of valet mode, and there was blah, blah, blah. And we're like, I said, whoa, this went straight to Facebook. So I got on Facebook. I'm like, hey, Mr. Smith, definitely didn't do that, but I'd love to jump on a phone call with you. This is the first I've heard about it. I'm going to watch our videos right now to make sure. And then 10 minutes later, I watched this. The truck never got moved, and I still can't get you on the phone. I just want you to know I have all the video footage of where your truck was all weekend. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, that was not. But I'll tell you one thing about bad reviews. We've only had a couple of them in 10 years of business, which is amazing. That comes from just hard work on the customer service side, because not everybody's happy all the time. Like, you're dealing with things. But like a lot of times it's not the bad review either. It's how you handle that, because people will go to look at your worst reviews and just see what you do.
Yeah.
So some people, I've heard the term bury a bad review. I've heard the term, try to get them deleted or getting them changed. If you can get the customer to edit it, that's great. But a lot of times leaving that baby up there and responding to it professionally and explaining the situation, people want to see what happens with you. If things do go bad, they want to see what you do.
Right.
So.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, man, great conversation. Just
I think Chevy Frank was asking about SEMA. He was asking if you can buy products there. Um, you cannot buy any of our products. I don't know if you can buy anything at SEMA. Can you? I don't think anybody. They might have some pre-ordering of stuff. Some of the companies, like I think maybe like Rupiz or Flex. I'm not even sure. I can't speak for them. But generally, no, we do not. Nobody really sells off their tables at SEMA or anything like that. I don't even know if you can, but we don't. I know that.
Yeah.
So don't, if you're coming with a bunch of money to buy products,
It's really not for that.
No.
No. Most people have some sort of promotion going on at that time, so be on the lookout for some type of promotion from most manufacturers and distributors there. But yeah, I mean, like I would not go there with the intent of picking up a bunch of stuff. Mobile tech, now I know there's some tools and things that you can buy. I know Billy Smith has bought new polishers and bought and got deals on things. See, maybe that way. I've never bought anything at a trade show. I don't know why. It's just not most time. I think it's
I never really see anybody carry stuff around other than like samples and stuff. So.
Billy Smith's about the only person I've seen like buy shit. But that dude, he's bought the cool stuff. He bought the new polishers, the chairs, like, you know, he gets things. Dude, he came to my boat show, bought an air conditioner. I'm like, that's cool, dude. He pulled the trigger. He's action.
I'm excited for Chevy and I have some locals. Like, I'm in a very small town. Obviously, you've been here, and Chevy is, I mean, technically kind of competition for me, but we help each other out. Like, we're only 20 miles away. And then I have Dakota and Bridget, I think, that are going to be coming too. So which are in Eau Claire. So it's cool to know that there's a couple local detailers that are going to be coming by, hopefully stopping by the booth. So that's cool.
Yeah. It's cool. You know, I think that making sure that you go around and visit the booths, but visit the people, really understand the interactions that you're having, see who's a good fit for your business, because in a time where economies shift around, it's gonna revert back to people selling to people and relationships. Yeah. Who's there to help you, you know?
Andy Martinez, can I order the new product already? Not yet, Andy. You know, for those that do not know, yes, there's 3 product launches. And one is a ceramic, four-year single layer ceramic. One's a spray on, rinse off type of unit. And then a new panel wipe, which is more for delicate surfaces. But I would say, Andy, you're going to see it in the U.S. in about 3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, as soon as it was available to purchase, we got it on a plane. We made our order as soon as it was available, and got it on a plane to fly it over here. So yeah, as soon as it arrives, it'll be there on the website. We're as excited as anybody else. Both of us are going to use it in our shops. We already kind of got plans for that. So we're all sitting on our hands too, just waiting. So it's exciting. But that's where we're at.
I did demo it about 6 months ago, and
yeah.
I have a video of it, so I'll post it later.
It's not that video, mine, not that video.
What?
Oh, that was a different video. The bathtub video.
Right here.
Oh, is that was the new product, Arcane. Before it was Arcane. Yeah. Oh, Billy Smith, I have built so many lifelong friendships from attending SEMA. Nothing like having my name detailed Billy out across the convention center, someone from another country. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that SEMA really means something special to Billy and Vandy. I think it's their anniversary.
Yeah.
It's right there at that time, and I believe let's see, how was it? There was something that was, Billy, what was the special thing about SEMA was it where you asked Miss Vandy to marry you, or did y'all get married there at SEMA when something happened there? I can't remember.
Thought it was their first date or something.
Yeah, it was something. It was something I can't remember specifically, but I do remember him telling me the story. So maybe he'll drop it in here for us. So anyways, we got Mike and I got the training schedule set up for the next year. So you'll start to see those dates be dropped. Dates and locations as Mike confirms the shops. Specifically, a lot of work goes into that, guys. That's not just off the cuff. You got to think that between, both of us owning other businesses, and juggling life, just like you guys do, setting up that schedule. And we both want to be at the trainings. Like we know how important it is that both of us are there to meet our customers and you to meet us. And so we got that. So you'll start to see those dates get dropped on the website.
Yeah, and check the website out. There's a training tab. You go in there and you can see all the trainings set up. Right now, there's 3 of them, I think. So the ones coming up are going to be at my shop December 7th and 8th. We're going to be doing ages. So if you're in the Wisconsin area or you want to fly into Wisconsin, see what it's like in the winter, come on to Wisconsin December 7th and 8th to my shop in Stanley, Wisconsin. Ages and Eclipse. And in January, we're going to be heading to MTE. We are going to be the Saturday and Sunday before MTE. We will do a ages class, and then the Monday, Tuesday after the ages class before MTE, then Monday, Tuesday is going to be the residential class. So we do have 2 classes in January. Them are the ones that are set up on the website. The rest of them are going to follow here within the next week or so. We'll have everything up on the.
Yeah, we're also mixing in. There's business involved in all of our trainings, business conversations. There is a lot more than just learning how to put on product or install product. With Aegis, it's very technical because of the way that Aegis, the compose, like the makeup of it, that requires complexity. But there's also a lot of marketing talk, sales talk, business talk. And then the relationship aspect of it. I mean, you guys are meeting us one-on-one. You're getting our phone numbers. You're able to, ask questions that you otherwise may not have access to ask at times. So it's really cool. Make sure that you check those out. Yeah, at geocoatingsusa.com. All right. Well, what else you got, Mike?
Not much. I gotta get some last-minute things done before SEMA. Been busy, so we're gonna keep on going. If you guys need anything, reach out to one of us. The week of SEMA, we will do our best to obviously answer questions and stuff if you're not going to SEMA and need assistance. Otherwise, we will divert you to individuals. Brian Headingly will be available, and some of the other ambassadors, and that you may be able to get some immediate questions answered if you need it. So.
Yep. Sounds good, man. Well, make sure you leave those nose hairs as long as you can so that you're ready to yank them babies out and our haircut.
We'll
leave on that note. See y'all.